This one made me sad. This article made me sad.
Yeah, sorry, man. But I'm going to skip over kind of the first part because it's basically a girl here in Colorado and Denver that has had long COVID.
Has long COVID
since 2020. It's now 2022. She's 18 in high school. She's got all soaring heart rate, fatigue, brain fog, stomach not working properly, feeding her with the tube. Infection marks on her body. Like, it's not good. Nothing is working. Nothing's working. Nothing's working. Nothing is working. Okay. So the article goes on.
Terrible.
The article goes on to say, Lily also had ulcers in her stomach that sometimes appear, although it's unclear if they are directly related to the ulcers that cover Lily's body within days of her infection in 2020. She had multiple episodes of gastrointestinal bleeding in the past 8 or 9 months and needed a blood transfusion. So, Lily is unable to eat because of her symptoms, so she has to get nutrients such as proteins and fats intravenously through a central line that goes in a vein above her heart. But Lily keeps getting infections from that central line and has become septic at least 3 times. Long COVID still remains a very big medical mystery. This population of patients really needs help, but right now there's really no guidance on what we can do to make these issues better. So there's no alternative treatment. There's not even any clinical trials. Funding for long COVID clinical trials has lagged because of the lack of a defined condition, has made it difficult to narrow down which patients should participate in the research. There are many potential treatment options, but they're not proven. Let me share this. Yount said, and insurance companies aren't going to pay for treatments that aren't proven, meaning patients have to pay out of pocket to try therapies that could cost thousands of dollars without knowing if they'll work. Lily, her family, and doctors wanted to try treating her with Regeneron's monoclonal antibody therapy. This is after 2 years of everything the hospital is doing.
Just let us try the monoclonal antibodies, please.
She responded well to monoclonal antibody treatment previously, and each time Lily has gotten a COVID-19 vaccination, she has a period where her condition improves for a couple of weeks. Is that because,
in other words, because you know how the vaccines give you antibodies initially and they wear off, so like it gets better for a little while and it goes away. Yeah. And I guess the monoclonal antibodies are just giving you antibodies directly, right?
Yeah. So it seems like the monoclonal antibody treatment helped her after.
However, blah, 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 blah. They don't know if it would even help, but why not try? Because of at this point, she has such serious complications. We got to try everything, basically.
Yeah. Well,
let's not skim over that part.
Let's not skim over that part because they tried everything. When you're going to, they did everything.
She's had like 5 days out of the hospital since 2020 or some shit, or 5 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And she does try monoclonal antibodies, and her family say that they work. And the hospital, it says here, the medical team treating Lily doesn't know if monoclonal antibodies would even help, even after it's the only thing that has helped. These fucking gentrified college degree fucks will still stand there and tell somebody that's been in the hospital for 2 years nothing they did worked, but monoclonal antibodies did, and they'll still stand there and have the gall to say we don't even know if that's gonna work. Go fuck yourself. And they don't even have clinical trials started to test for any alternative treatment other than what the hospital's giving.
I know, but don't go too hard on the medical team, because Apple, which is which is on the medical team, that's the doctor, right? Appel. However, read the next line. However, subjectively, given there are no other good options, wouldn't it be wonderful if it helped even a little bit? And we do not feel it would be harmful to her at this point compared to all of the serious complications she has had. So they're saying, look, we don't know if this is going to necessarily resolve the problem, but why don't we try it? So she's advocating for let's try monoclonal antibodies.
I won't be hard on.
But no, I'm just saying, like, represent it accurately, you know. So they're yeah, you're right. Like, it did work for them in the past, but why not? The doctor is saying, why not try it again if it worked in the past for us? But they're being dicks about it. So this is what annoyed me, this whole next part of the article. But it's very difficult to access the therapy, which targeted an earlier variant of the virus, because the emergency use authorization issued by the FDA has expired. So, and Rogan made this point on his podcast too, and he's right. You're fucking saying, look, we won't give you access to monoclonal antibodies because the emergency use authorization expired because it was based on the first variant of the virus. Well, what the fuck is the vaccine based on that you're giving everybody? It's based on they didn't base it off Omicron. They're basing the vaccine you and I got, right? The Pfizer and the whatever the Moderna. Those were based off of the original whatever alpha variant of the virus. So it doesn't make sense to me that you would continue use of one therapy, the vaccine, and then deny use of the other therapy, both of which were initially started to be used because of the emergency use authorization by the FDA. I don't know. It's ridiculous. They tried 2 compassionate use requests for the company to allow therapy, but both were denied.
Compassionate use requests, and they still can't get something that the only thing that's helped her has been monoclonal antibodies. We're begging you,
please, for our child, let us do this. But it's fucking depressing, man. Yeah, although at the very end of the article, it says she got out on Tuesday, and this was written September 11th. So let's hope this little girl is able to stay out of the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that
5 weeks in 2 years. She's been out of the hospital only 5 weeks in 2 years.
Crazy, dude. And can't get any clinical trials or funding to try alternative therapies
at 18 years old. Yes.
So crazy, dude. It's obvious that something's going on.
And the biggest reason why they won't do clinical trials or studies is because they can't agree on what long COVID is. You know, they can't agree on a definition of it.
That's so crazy, dude.
And nail it down. So these poor people that have it, they're kind of just fucked at this point. All from a virus that China let out of a lab, Dylan. Had an old man yelling at me about, not at me, but to me about this at work today.